Coming up on KCCI 8 News Close-Up, Iowa's lawsuit against Roblox is heading to trial. Attorney General Brenna Bird explains why she says the platform puts children at risk. Roblox points to new safety measures, and a cybersecurity expert shares what parents can do now. More than 400 Iowa cold cases remain unsolved. How funding for new cutting-edge DNA testing could help bring answers to families, and why investigators say every tip matters. A new installation is taking shape at Waterworks Park, honoring a former Waterworks leader while educating visitors about Iowa's water quality, the progress made, and the vision behind the project.
You're watching KCCI 8 News Close Up.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for KCCI 8 News Close-Up. I'm Laura Terrell, filling in for Amanda Rooker. Just days ago, we learned Iowa's lawsuit against the online gaming company Roblox will go to trial in November of 2027. Iowa's Attorney General Brenna Bird filed a lawsuit against the company in December, arguing it puts Iowa kids at risk of sexual exploitation. In May, the Iowa District Court for Polk County ruled Iowa's consumer fraud lawsuit against Roblox Corporation can move forward. Today, we're taking a closer look at what this means for Iowa and for families looking to protect their children from online predators. Roblox tells KCCI it has put safety measures in place since the lawsuit was filed, including age-based accounts, required age checks, limits on communication between minors and adults, and expanded parental controls. The company says those changes better reflect how the platform operates today. We have posted links to its safety resources on kcci.com. Just go to the Close-Up tab. Joining me this morning is Attorney General Brenna Bird. Thank you for being here in the KCCI studio.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're talking about online safety for children, specifically when it comes to online gaming platforms like Roblox. This is something that you have talked quite a bit about. For those that aren't familiar, what is Roblox and why do you have concerns about it for Iowa's children?
Well, as a mom and as a prosecutor, I look out for kids, and we have to be really careful what our kids are exposed to, who we allow to have access to them. That's my concern for Roblox, because it is a playground for predators. And I say that because they market themselves as the safest platform for kids. If you have little younger kids in your life, like I do as a mom, it's likely that 2 out of 3 of them are on Roblox. So even 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, as well as teenagers. And so I have a lot of concerns about that platform and that they allow people to have access to kids that should not have access whatsoever to children.
You filed a lawsuit last year against Roblox Corporation, claiming in that lawsuit that the company misled parents about safety tools. Why do you believe the company misled parents?
Well, I believe that Roblox has misled parents because they market themselves as the safe online platform for kids to build games. And of course, to most parents, that sounds like a good idea. But once you dig a little bit deeper, you see that they do not verify the people that are on Roblox. They've added some changes, but it's too little too late. And they have made a lot of money off of marketing Roblox to parents and to kids. They need to tell the truth to parents. They need to make the platform safe for children.
And as you just said, you have called Roblox a playground for predators. What safety measures do you believe Roblox lacks, and what do you want to see changed by this lawsuit?
Well, there's a couple of things that I would like to see. One of the problems with Roblox is when you have a predator on there, they use an avatar, they start to interact with a child, they build a relationship, and then try to take it to another platform as they're grooming them, or in some cases it's led to horrible things like sexual abuse, sextortion, some things that are just unthinkable that could happen to children. And so what we want Roblox to do is to make their platform actually safe for children, or tell parents the truth about what is allowed on their platform, And I think we also want them, of course, to disgorge or give up the money that they made by marketing an unsafe platform, not telling the truth, and all the people that then joined that platform and made their business so successful.
There is a pending criminal case out of West Des Moines. Police there saying a 13-year-old girl was groomed and kidnapped by a man from Tennessee that she met online. That case is still pending. You've referenced that case before. Do you know of any other cases like that where Iowa children have been victims of this crime?
Well, and that's absolutely heartbreaking, which is why we've sued Roblox, why we want this to stop, and why we want parents to be armed with information. I will tell you that I meet with law enforcement all over Iowa, and they talked with me about how Roblox is being used by predators for grooming, for sextortion, for crimes right here in Iowa. It's a major concern for them, and we'd like to see that platform made safe for children, or don't offer it to children at all.
Obviously, we've talked a lot about your lawsuit, but is the state doing enough to protect Iowa children from online predators, or is there more to do?
Well, as a mom, I think there's always more to do to protect kids from online predators. It seems as though when you get one predator site shut down, another one will pop up. And so as Attorney General, I keep an eye out for that, listen to law enforcement, see what is going on, and we are always looking for ways to protect children and to make Iowa and the United States a safer place for kids.
As kids head back to school, as they're on their, tablets, their devices, what advice do you have for parents? How can they keep their children safe?
Well, every parent has to decide how they want to parent, but I can tell you personally, I think it's important for children not to have their own devices when they're young, and for whatever type of online connectivity is used, that it's very carefully monitored by parents, and that parents are very aware of what children are doing. So having them do it while you're there, maybe in the living room together, making sure that the programs don't allow your child to connect to people you don't know. And so if they're going to play a game online with another third grader, that it's an appropriate game for a third grader, and then that other person, you actually know who they are in real life, and you're not just relying on the representations that they make. We really have to look out for and protect our children.
Yeah, an important topic. Protecting children online, huge topic right now. So thank you so much for joining us. Attorney General Brenna Bird will be right back. Welcome back to Close Up. For more perspective on the concerns Attorney General Brenna Bird just raised, we are joined now by Iowa State University's cybersecurity expert, Doug Jacobson, to discuss the risks that children may face on Roblox and what parents can do to help keep them safe. Doug, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
You're a very trusted voice for many years on cybersecurity and keeping people safe, kids safe online. I want to ask first, what makes Roblox different than other traditional gaming platforms, and what is concerning for you about this program?
So gaming platforms like Roblox allow the gamers to also interact with each other sort of outside the game as well as inside the game. And that's where some of the problems come into play, is allowing those side channel conversations, which allows others to interact. And people who play these games tend to think it's being played by people just like them. So that's where you get into issues of children getting on these games and end up interacting with adults who pretend to be children. And it's not just Roblox. There are a lot of these games have that ability to chat and to have those side conversations besides just I'm playing a game.
You mentioned side conversations. How often does that happen, where a perpetrator tries to get a child to exit Roblox and talk maybe on text messages or another app, kind of offline in a different way?
Yeah, once they've identified a potential victim, then they typically try to move them off fairly quickly to usually not another app. They usually like things that may already be on your phone, or things that are accessible through the web, things that aren't as easily traced. You know, text, for example, while they may use that, you know, there's this concern that the parents may be seeing the text messages, so they like to kind of move them into places where they have a little more control. Of course, their discussion is always around with, you know, it's special. You can't, you know, this is special between us. Don't be telling anybody. You know, they sort of build that relationship and make sure you're trying to keep that relationship secret. And so they like apps that do that. You see them sometimes move to WhatsApp if the student or if the kid has access to that. That's one you have to install, but that one is usually pretty private.
The Attorney General is suing Roblox, saying that the company misled parents about its safety measures. From a technical standpoint, what can a company like Roblox do safety-wise? What can they detect, and what really slips through the cracks?
Yeah, I mean, and they've changed their policies from when they first came on board. They can put in some sort of parental controls. So if the parent is involved in allowing the child access, the parent can set up parental controls. They're trying to do age verification. That has some pluses and minuses. It doesn't always work, right? You know, just like liquor stores try age verification and fake IDs and things like that. So the technology, they're trying, but no technology is perfect. Some is that, how does the child gain access to it? Are you as a parent involved in them getting that access? You know, suggestions of, you know, especially some of the younger kids, play with them for a while, you know, say, hey, let's, you know, if they want to get that, okay, well, let's sit down and set this up, and why don't you show me how it works, and, you know, let the kid be the teacher to you, and then you start to feel comfortable. You can put the settings in place, and you kind of understand what the game is like and what the benefits might be of them playing the game versus this hard stance of, no, you can't play that one, but yeah, you can play that one. That gets a little confusing. You know, you may have at home no games, which is fine, then everything's equal, but when you start playing that, yeah, this one, not that one, you need to be a little more involved in that discussion.
And what I'm kind of hearing from you is technology can only protect you so much. You still have to be a parent and be really tuned in to what they're using. Is that right?
Yeah. You know, other suggestions, you know, if they're playing things like that, the computer that they're using to play that or the device should be an open space, right? These are things that normally you don't let them play in their bedroom. Younger kids, no headphones probably when you're playing these. That way you can hear what's going on. So again, be involved. The other thing is with any internet type technologies, have that discussion with your child that, you know, it's safe to come to me if you feel uncomfortable. And we're not going to take away your tablet. We're not going to take away your accounts. If you feel uncomfortable, if something doesn't seem right, come to me.
Yes, and you have been in the cybersecurity world for a long time. We were talking about this off camera. 40 plus years. You've seen the ever-changing world online. What concerns you most now that you're seeing at this point in time compared to what you've seen in years past?
A couple things. I think AI is a game changer. Not only in cyber, but it's a game changer everywhere. You can't trust images anymore. You basically, without really looking, you can't trust anything that you see or hear on the internet. And so that's a whole different level of education that we need for our children and for our adults, our parents, our grandparents. So that has really altered how we view any of our content on the internet. From an adult standpoint, we see our adversaries being much more willing to interact with us. 20 years ago, they would just, right, we all won the Nigerian lottery every other week, and now they're very focused, very targeted. They'll spend time understanding if your work, they'll spend time understanding your organization. We get emails that pretend to be somebody at Iowa State, pretend to be the president with a very powerful and meaningful message that wants you to do something. So they spend that time of learning about your organization. So they're, again, much more willing to spend time and effort, and in part because AI lets them do that.
You have to really be cautious, really pay attention, and really talk to your kids. So we really appreciate all of your advice. Doug Jacobson, you've been in this world for a long time. We know you have a lot of wisdom, so thank you for joining us here on Close Up. We will be right back. Welcome back. I am joined by Iowa's Attorney General Brenna Bird to talk about your cold case unit. This has been a very public thing that you are proud of in your office. More than 400 cold cases in Iowa. Your unit has been working so far. How many arrests, how many convictions do you have?
Yeah, well, our cold case unit has been up and going for just under 2 years. It's something that I knew our state needs, so that we're always focusing on cold cases. Right now, there are 4 cases that have been charged, cold case homicides. 1 person has been sent to prison for second-degree murder, and 3 are currently awaiting trial.
The first conviction was for Robert Davis in the death of Barbara Lenz, her family getting justice 37 years later. I know you met with them. What was that like?
Well, getting to meet with Barb's family was very powerful and just brings home the importance of never giving up on a cold case, never giving up on our search for justice, and for making sure that murderers get what they deserve and go to prison, and that surviving families get the justice that they deserve as well. 37 years after Barb Lenz went missing, her case was solved, brought to trial, and he was convicted and sentenced to prison. So being there with her family is something I will always carry with me in my heart, because it's something that reminds us why we do what we do. We do it out of love and our search for justice.
Yes, and you know, some of these cases, very high profile. A lot of people have been following the death of Ashley Oakland. I remember being there 15 years ago when that happened. Kristen Ramsey's charged with first-degree murder. A lot of people want to know why now, why 15 years later?
Yeah, well, and I have to say this, because of our cold case unit, we are focused on a trial, on prosecuting and bringing that to court. So I won't be commenting on that case in any way other than I'm glad that it's been solved. I'm glad that we are headed to trial. But any information about that case is going to come out in the courtroom in front of the judge and the jury, because we put justice for Ashley and her family first.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll continue to follow that. A lot more cases out there pending. How does the unit determine what they're working on? Can you tell us what they're working on right now?
Yeah, well, one of the things that our investigators do is they work with local law enforcement all across the state, and they are prepared to take in leads on any case, as well as dig in, see where the evidence is, the witnesses, talking to law enforcement, both active and retired. And so any cold case murder is up for consideration. It just depends on tips that come in, new information, maybe even DNA evidence, whatever that might be that comes in. They don't give up on any case. There's no case that is too old. The fact that our first case was 37 years old just is a constant reminder that we never give up on justice. So if someone knows something, I urge them to reach out either to my office or to law enforcement, whether it's little or maybe you might think it's insignificant. It might not be. So please reach out. That might be the thread that helps to unravel the case.
Yeah, and your office working on securing some pending grant funding that could bring new DNA testing to the state. Can you talk about that? That's big news.
We have had a big development. I want to say thank you to the Prairie Meadows Community Betterment Foundation, because we are working on securing funding through them so that we can provide funding for advanced DNA testing. So very high-end, cutting-edge DNA testing. It's a little bit expensive, and so grant funding so that local law enforcement, when they have a case where that would be appropriate and would help them, we are able to offer that. So really excited about that and very thankful.
Can you kind of explain what this new DNA testing would do, and do you think that it will solve more Iowa cold cases?
Yeah. I think it's a powerful tool to help solve cold cases. It just depends on the case itself. And this DNA testing that's available now with some of the scientific advances is truly amazing. The types of matches that they can make and the information they can glean from DNA. There are some cutting edge national laboratories that we can have access to now with this funding. So my hope is that it will lead to solving this DNA will lead to solving cases. We never know, because the evidence, it gets analyzed and we see where that leads us as far as the case, but very exciting.
Yeah, big news. It's always interesting to see cases solved 20, 30, 40 years later. Hopefully this helps with that. How can people help? How can our viewers who might have information in any case, whether they think it's significant or insignificant, how can they contact your office?
Well, people have a couple of different options. They can call our office cold case tip line. They can also email us through our website if they prefer to do that. Reach out to their local law enforcement agency and tell them whatever they are most comfortable with. But I really would encourage people to come forward, even if it's been a long time, because sometimes that will be just the lead that would help to put an investigator onto the right track and help to solve a cold case, and that's what we're all about.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Attorney General Brenna Bird. Thank you for being on Close Up today. We will be right back. Welcome back. Back-to-back lawn watering bans put Central Iowa's water quality in focus, but former Des Moines Waterworks CEO Bill Stowe raised the issue more than a decade ago. Now his message has a home in Waterworks Park. KCCI's Suzanne Banky spoke with his family.
Water Curia is under construction at Waterworks Park this summer. Curia means gathering.
We also need to make sure we do it from a scientific background.
Graham Gillette was on the Des Moines Waterworks Board of Trustees that helped hire the late Bill Stowe. He says Water Curia will help teach about decades-long concerns about water and bringing Iowans together.
We were very concerned at the time and remain very concerned now about the quality of water and the pollution coming from agriculture that brings high nitrate concentrations down the river. That is an unsustainable problem. And so talking and continuing the conversation about what we're going to do about water quality in Central Iowa is important.
Stowe's wife, Amy Beatty, says education was her husband's passion, especially when he served for 7 years as CEO of the Waterworks.
You know, whether it be brushing our teeth or doing the laundry or drinking it out of the tap, it just affects everything we do. And the more we know about it, I think the better stewards we all are going to be of it.
During that time, the Waterworks pursued a lawsuit against several Northwest counties about agricultural runoff. It was eventually dropped, but the issue didn't go away.
The fact of the matter is the clock is ticking, and the threats that we see here at Des Moines Waterworks and in Central Iowa continue to mount.
Gillette hopes when Water Curia is done, it will foster momentum and conversation.
And that is a piece of art that adds to the beauty of Des Moines, but also continues this vital conversation about what we're going to do about our threatened water system.
Well, thank you for joining us for KCCI 8 News Close-Up. Have a great day.